I wanted to write something that was not about me, it was not internal, but kind of about other people. And I thought initially it would be quite superficial. Men and women have very, very strong connections with certain things that they wear. So I'll start with my mother and my grandmother, which is the eponymous poem, A Talent for Hats. My mother could not wear hats, their beauty somehow at odds with her own. Shopping for weddings, despite milliner's assurance, there's a right hat for everyone. Picture, pillbox, fascinator, rendered her plain or worse comical. Relishing the novelty of a reflection not returning the beauty's surety she had banked on since 15, mother would cross eyes, gurn, grimace, leading to a stomach-stitched laughter as she was reduced to the ranks of the ordinary. Grandmother's prettiness, however, worked with millinery to mutual benefit. From flapper peeping Clara Bow cute under cloche to taking Queen Mum as posh do role model, her wardrobe weather-equipped with beret, boater, Cossack. Later, no old lady couture for her, but charming bucket hats meant she could have had the pick of her OAP club admirers. I have inherited her talent for hats, show off in Liberty's millinery department, where absurd Philip Tracy Trilby, Budleia covered in butterflies, becomes witty on my head. Hatted, I am plain Jane transformed like Betty Davis and now Voyager, brim flirting with officials who beam and upgrade me to premium places. In hatless high street, I come closer in red bowler or purple fedora to mother and grandmother's glamour, proving that I too can make heads turn. And it just became very interesting that even blokes have a kind of real sort of relationship with certain items of clothing that maybe they put at the back of the wardrobe. And this is actually based on the guy who very loosely told me this story, but I ran with it. And it's called Stayin Alive. Occasional exploratory in wardrobe for casual jacket or formal two-piece disturbs the once grey, disturbs the once white, now ghost grey suit like a memory at the back of the mind. Catching disco fever in his 30s, dance classes to learn the moves, Burton's to buy the Travolta suit, Saturday nights hitting Canterbury's own Studio 54, bumping, pointing, strutting into early hours. Easing into his 60s in chinos and crew neck, he takes night classes in local history, but still a glitterball glint in his eye when hand Freudian slip style from Radio 4 to 2, and as Bee Gees sound sachets out, his toes twitch inside Clark's slip-ons. He actually hates the poem, but I think there's a certain charm. This next one is called Devil Dress, and this was a story a lady told me about, and I think ladies were probably kind of all familiar with this, the dress that, it does this. Devil Dress. Demurely dependent on the hanger, it might remain a wallflower in the wardrobe, but she knows the black jersey dress has been designed by the devil. Gliding on over the body, it strokes breasts, brushes bum, smooths hips, an augmented Eve skin, winking with the promise of what lies beneath, leaving everything to men's imaginations. And after leggings and jeans, its caress is an aphrodisiac, so she sets off into the night with an apple in her hand. I had a very extraordinarily beautiful mother, and it's quite difficult not to be the daughter who is not extraordinarily beautiful. And for a long time, adolescence was not kind to me, and it's quite interesting how you change as you grow older. How to live with mirrors. At 16, closed curtains shield you from the worst of a plain-speaking mirror's home truths. Whilst you attempt to align Picasso eyes with liner, coat acne's curse with foundation. Saturday shopping with chums who catwalk through Debenhams, preening before mirrors as if posing before boys. You skulk beyond each reflection's reach. But in Topshop, a rogue looking-glass ambushes you, sending you scurrying to the ladies, where you view yourself like a disappointed Narcissus. Pretending period pain, you shuffle home. At 56, you know most middle-aged women now exchange primping before mirrors for frowning at bulging bellies, tutting at frayed features. But once a day, you face yourself in a mirror, selected for its benevolence. Inspect makeup, outfit and hair. Sometimes the glass is gentle. You've strayed into mutton. But most days, not bad for an old bird. Carrying this image like a snapshot in your purse to trump other lurking mirrors' spite, you scoot off to emails, marking, meetings, frequently forgetting to reflect upon yourself again that day. Something that you And I talked a lot to my husband, who something of a peacock, has been seeing all his life. Double life, and so this is how we dressed in the 70s. Double life. Best suit he ever owned? Bespoke, inky velvet, large lapels, fitted flares. Him and his mate shopping for white ruffle, blue dress shirt to complement. Collar secured by midnight velvet tie. Whole outfit topped off with 4-inch black stacks. Showstopper entering nightclubs. Peacock strutting over to buy a girl a drink. Them stroking his coney soft shoulder-length hair as he jagger-charmed them. But a weekend glam rocker only. Weekdays, buckled biker boots that domino-toppled row of Vespers on Margate seafront. Must-have Kangol helmet, full visor slapped down like a knight into battle. Surcoat, a cut-down jean jacket, emblazoned with his personal coat of arms, invicta horse rampant for Kentish boy. All 4 aces pictured in card sharp warning above metal studded nickname Maverick. And at a reading quite recently, a friend asked him whether he actually did that to certain bikes or Vespers on Margate seafront, and apparently yes, he did. Outrageous. My gay best friend lives in Manchester, and his partner is amazing, and he's got a whole narrative of the life that he had in London, and he gave me this image which I ran with, and I got a bit worried that it might upset him, but I sent it to him and he endorsed it. So this is called Sheffield Steel for Malcolm. Even in the 70s, Sheffield's steel crucible forged only macho men, so you witness protected your identity behind long strides in black Doc Martens, wiping dirty hands on brown overalls, hunching over roll-ups in navy donkey jacket. But weekends deployed gay spycraft, whispered Polari, keys coyly slung from belt loops, gold neck chains glint, leading to stomach-churning cottaging in gents, palm-pricking pickups in blind-eye pubs, heart-racing rendezvous in suburban bedsits, hastily pulling back on your butchness for the late bus home, drunken lads still saw beneath to the pansy queer fairy crouching inside and dealt with you. Then the flit to London. In Soho's sanctuary released inner Camp Jean Genie. With nature, cold eyes, mocha skin, lean body, you swanked in tight white tops and tight white jeans, watering mouths following your Marilyn wiggle down Old Compton Street, and shaking your booty in bang, added rock star notches to your bedpost, kept your tongue Sheffield Steel sharpened as you deposed killer queens. Outside the Soho ghetto, still set upon on underground, but took your beating with whatever bravado. And weekends in 6-inch pink diamante stilettos, scarlet mini dress, blondie wig, you waved your purple feather boa in society's face, sprinting across the concourse of Victoria Station en route to find heaven in heaven. We used to do that. And this is my husband and I met later in life, and he loves Whitstable, which is where he comes from. And I had to, eventually it seemed impractical that I would live with him, so he came to live with me in the village, which is not far from Whitstable. And we do have these fantastic sunrises and sunsets. So this is Trancing Turner. At first, an exile's tone when you recall Whitstable's Turner-painted sunsets, admired each evening from sash windows in your old flat with best view in town of sea. Decades working and playing continents away from home, town, but it's the 10-mile move to my village house that makes you homesick. Late afternoons I sometimes find you standing staring out of front windows. Initially I interpret your stance as entrapment, regret, boredom, and my happiness stumbles. In reality you are comparing sunsets, expecting to find the village efforts inferior. But my home's serendipitous geometry creates unrestricted views of horizon, and you have grudgingly begun to concede that most evenings we have showstoppers here. I brush down my happiness at this unexpected finding in the village's favour. Its virtuoso sunsets some compensation for my semi's dubious decor, small bed, no shower. Yet in truth, 20 years teaching had me head down over marking until 6 p.m, then tapped up in the back bedroom, so I took such spectacles to be rarities, caught by me on weight loss walks or when drawing the front curtain. Now each dusk you turn away from TV to enjoy the more compelling show, call me from the kitchen to share, sun suspended like a giant J. Arthur Rank goal, clouds massing in arc builders' validation, watercolour washed in Taj Mahal's pinks, peaches, gold. So whilst you refer affectionately to Whitstable's twilights like an old lover you still have a soft spot for, superlatives are switched to our sunsets in the village. Amazing. I will finish with this obsession with tattoos. I became quite versed on going through the internet on this whole thing about tattoos and why suddenly there's a proliferation of them to the extent that people are covering their bodies. And the Germans actually call it the English skin disease, I found out. And there's a particularly interesting one who goes around boot fairs in Canterbury, and I don't know why. I don't know why this guy does this. Satan spends Sunday at a boot sale. His devil's face, is like a prank played with indelible ink by mates as he dozed. But hair trained into 2 budding horns, whole body pigmented toadstool red, suggests he savours with theatrical relish the shudders, shaken heads, stares that follow his Sunday stroll with wife and grandkids. Inwardly ha-ha-has as stool holders pray he does not pause to browse for tools, electrical goods, souls. Of course, the real Satan would disguise as the grey-haired gent in beige fleece, brown cords, twinkling as his table is mobbed by women eager for his homegrown organic apples. With my father. My father died when I was 11, so I don't really remember very much about him, but this is what I do remember. Some of my parents courting in orchards, Dad shimmying like Flash Harry through gap in hedge, not for hanky-panky, but Mother's night schooling him in fruit tree husbandry. So by the time they married, he was promoted from factory hand to self-employed agricultural contractor. Whilst Mother shed field work scruffiness for lady of leisure, stilettos, summer coat, dainty dresses, my father embraced tramp couture in grimy jeans, shabby sweaters and trademark Wellington boots, whose slapping through orchards, long grass, down garden path became his signature tune. Now, in aircon cool linen frock, I slide into Wellington's parked outside back door, learn to trust their off-road sure-footedness as I clamber over garden rockery, drapes around coppice, wade through wildlife patch. My wellies, slap, slap, slapping.